So yesterday, the Fed telegraphed 2 more rate hikes coming in this year. But if President Trump's plans for the economy lead to bigger growth, should the Fed be prepared to step on the gas? The market watchers, Meister and Hitha Herzog. All right, Jason, you think we're going to see more rate hikes this year? Do you think we will?
I think slow and steady. I think we have to be careful. Europe has a lot of elections going on right now. There's some uncertainty around that. I think we slow and steady move out of up the rates. I don't want to see a quick rise in rates.
Here's the thing, guys, that I thought was interesting, though, with the Fed yesterday. They're seeming to, I won't say be indifferent, but they're not giving Donald Trump a lot of credit for his agenda. They're looking at only 2.1% growth this year and 2.1% growth next year, Hitha. Seems like it would be a lot more than that. And if so, they're going to have to adjust their model.
But what do you expect Janet Yellen to really do? Throw Donald Trump props while she's giving his speech? She wouldn't do that. But to your point, I mean, the economy is looking a lot better. Unemployment is at its lowest it's been since the last 8 years. Unemployment, as I said, is doing really well. Consumer spending is increasing, a sector that I watch. So we are seeing that those economic factors go in a positive pathway. Right. So of course you're going to see this this interest rate raise more quickly versus slowly.
To Hitha's point, we added 235,000 jobs in his first month in office. I think 30,000 manufacturing jobs. So I think he's delivering on his promises.
Well, last month we had 59,000 according to BLS, 66,000 according to ADP construction jobs, and those are great paying jobs, Jason. And you got to wonder how much of a role that will play with the Fed as well, because I think Janet gave herself a little bit of an out with that symmetric comment. In other words, allowing the economy to heat up more than general, because would she be foolish enough to derail the economy just as it's coming out of this multi-year slumber?
Look, I do think the Fed is a political animal, and that's enough for another segment. But I think that if we hit 3 to 5% GDP, that's when we start to have to intervene. I don't think, we've been at sub 3%.
But here's the problem. Inflation will probably go above 2% before our GDP goes to 3%. That will put her in a quandary unless she's understanding, Hitha, that, hey, the signs are there. Today we had housing starts. The best housing starts number for single-family homes. I love this number because this is traditional, right? Going out, white picket fence, family formation, having kids. I love that kind of thing. Which, so she's going to have a dilemma, I think, on her hands.
It's also getting easier for younger people to buy houses. And, you saw that report that just came about people getting access to credit. They're using not just the FICO scores, but they're using other means to start boosting up that credit. So people are going to be having access to capital a lot more. So you're right. We're going to see a lot more people buying homes.
Right, that millennial.
Exactly. We're going to see that happen. So to your point, I think it's actually going to move faster, and I think it should have moved faster. Listen, we should have hiked the funds rate years ago.
Sure. We had 8 years of free money.
Literally free money. And what did it do to our economy? Nothing great.
Asset bubbles.
So I think that if it behooved her, it would behoove her to go ahead and start hiking that rate a lot faster than, maybe the next couple months, we should see another rate hike.
So if that were to happen, though, do you think Wall Street would have a temper tantrum?
Doesn't look like they did have a temper tantrum.
I think it's somewhat baked in right now.
More than 2 hikes? You think she can get away with?
2 hikes. I think 2 hikes. I think anything above that, again, if we're in that 3 to 5% GDP, which is we're rocking and rolling at that level.
At the end of the day, if she's hiking those rates, it means good things for the economy. So I think, you're not going to see Wall Street balk if another rate hike happens
It's a good problem to have.
As long as that's why she's doing it. I mean, Jason just said they're a political animal. Let's not forget that December rate hike they did in December 2014 wrecked the stock market, and that wasn't done for economy. I think that was done to prove that she was an independent animal, and she didn't need Wall Street's approval. It was like sort of a grudge thing.
Sure,
and she paid a price for it. We paid a price for it.
We did, but look what was happening in the economy at the time, and we were definitely nowhere near where we are right now. I mean, we were, unemployment was in the, in dismal.
The labor force participation rate was at the lowest level in 40 years.
Consumer spending
GDP
was not even happening.
Right.
So I think that we are at a very different place in 2014 than we are right now.
All right. So the moral of the story is, Janet, hike rates, but take it easy. Don't derail this thing.
Exactly.
Guys, thank you both very much. Appreciate it.